Well, hello, my little potato, you beautiful soul. I always like to start off with I love you, so I love you. And let's see, let's talk about today. Well, I went to sleep very late last night because I was trying to fix things on YouTube. Then that turned into this whole thing. Then I went down this whole rabbit hole and blah, 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 blah. Then like 3:30, then it was like, I think it was like 3:30 or something. But, and then I went to sleep and woke up and I'm like, what time is it? I'm 11 something. I'm like, oh my God. But because I tried to wake up at like 9:30, and I was like, well, is that my alarm? And no, excuse me. I didn't really have a big day though, so I mean, it was okay. I had an appointment today, um, with someone. It wasn't really a set time other than, after I woke up and make sure I eat and all that. I'm not very happy with the whole experience, so I need to leave that person feedback, but I feel bad, but I just am like, and then I got another copy of my coloring book in today. I called the nurse, the assisted living center, to find out the email address of the activities director so I could email her. I'll and I'll meet that tomorrow. And then tomorrow, my meeting with my mentor is usually at 9:30, is now at 12:30. Um, and then I was supposed to go to the meeting tomorrow, and then that's actually been changed to noon. So I'll get there a little after 1, and then it's supposed to be from, I think, till 2. So like by then, like all the food will have been ordered, and it won't take as long for mine to come out, and a bunch, any a bunch of things. Um, and then I'm trying to think, what else is there? Um, but yeah, I mean, like I took a shower today, like went and visited my friend Louise at her shop and hadn't seen her in a little while. And I spent time on YouTube trying to fix all my YouTube stuff. I think that's fixed now, squared away until next week when I have to change one more permission for something else. And then I'm trying to think, tomorrow, I need to edit my Etsy listing. What else do I need to do? I need to edit my Etsy listing and then go to that lunch thing tomorrow and meet with my mentor tomorrow, of course. I have to do my homework. That's what I need to do. I need to do my homework. So then that way on Sunday I can like do nothing, which is nice. But Sunday's like Father's Day, so which we did go out to dinner tonight. Um, so that was nice. We went to dinner at this new restaurant, and I was telling my sister, I said it's called Castillo's Kitchen, and I was saying to my sister because they have chips and salsa, of course, and they make their own chips and the salsa, and we're eating the salsa, and I said, it's not really a complaint, but I kind of wish they would have green salsa as well, because especially when you live in Texas, like people have red salsa and green salsa, and sometimes it's like warm salsa and one's cold. And I said that, and I was like, it's not really a complaint, it's just a comment. And then the guy comes back out and he goes, I forgot to bring this out earlier. And we laughed because I was like, yeah, we all was just saying that. And he goes, well, this is the spicy one. I dipped one chip in, and I was like, nope, that's enough. And he said it's basically all Serrano chilies. It was pretty spicy. My dad's like, yeah, I'm fine. He's fine because he doesn't mind. And we were talking about, well, we're going to the restaurant because this restaurant's a little bit further away from the house than normally we go. And like the last time we went to a restaurant, it took us less than, I think last Friday we went to this restaurant and it took us less than 5 minutes to get there. And then this time we went and we were at the light, and I called him like, hey, do you have a way? Because I don't know anything about this restaurant. And he said, no. I was like, okay, we'll be there in like 15 minutes, because the GPS said like from our house to there was like 14 minutes. But from that point where we were, it was like 11 minutes. And my dad goes, 15 minutes? That's far. And I said, Dad, it's not that it's far, it's that you're spoiled because the two Mexican restaurants we go to are literally right by the house, like 1 mile. One's not even a mile away. It's like a quarter mile away. Literally. Quarter? Hold on, let me see. Let's actually work on Google Maps. I think it's called Victoria's. Yeah, there's half a mile. It's half a mile. It would be a 12-minute walk. It's a 2-minute drive, like out of the neighborhood and left. It's close. Um, and then is the other restaurant we go to is zero point 0.8 miles away. So not even a mile. And so this one I was going, it's like 4.6 miles. He's like, what? And then he was telling us that like when we were growing up, we lived in the valley, we lived in Brownsville, and Brownsville's a small town. And when people would be like, he's like, there's this one road. And he said, man, it's like 15 minutes away. It's like 15 minutes, that's far, because everything was like 5 minutes away. And, so we went today and I said, we enjoyed it. And I said, Dad, would you want to come back? And he goes, yeah, we'll come back. So that was all pleasant. And and you know what? Another reason I would go back is they have really good customer service. Because when we walked in, we're like, we've never been here before, and it's counter service. And so we walked in and we're like looking at the menu, and the guy comes up and he goes, have you been here before? And we're like, no. And he goes, oh, well, if you want, you can just sit at the table and then, go and order. And we're like, oh, okay. So we're like sitting at the table, and he comes over and he's like talking to us, and he's like, oh, like blah, blah, blah. And I said, oh, what's your favorite? And he said, we're really known for this, this, and this. And my dad was like, I want this. And my sister, and then I'm like, Dad, you have to order at the counter. He's like, no, it's okay. I'll just put it in. And just like that right there, he was like, we're not busy. I'll put the order in myself. It's not a big deal. And I was like, that's really nice. And to me, that was like really good customer service, because it wasn't like, now that you're situated, he's like, he was like, it's not like I'm not here. I'm here. I can go put in the order. It's okay. So it worked out really well for us. And then we had all kinds of like, they had drinks and stuff. So like they had sweet tea, unsweet tea, and I'm like, Dad. When Dad's starting to drink the sweet tea, we're like, Dad's not gonna like that because it's like sweet tea. It's gonna be too sweet. And he's like, nope, he liked it. So I'm like, okay. I mean, he diluted it with water, but he still liked it. And then we had dinner. And then I was like, man, I really want a tostada. Tostada would have been really good. I haven't had that in like years and years and years. And they're like, oh yeah, if you want that, we'll make it for you. I was like, ah, next time. So, and they also had my childhood like favorite, which is migas, like corn tortillas, so good. But maybe next time. But I was like hungry because I ate earlier today, and then I was gonna go to the store. And speaking of which, I can't find my card, so that's kind of annoying. Because I'm like, I had it, and I swear I put it in my pocket, but somehow it fell out, or I don't know. Because I went to go see my friend, and it wasn't in my pocket when I got out of the store to go to her place. So, you know what I should do? I should lock that card just in case. Um, I should do that while I think about it in case. I mean, not that like there's a lot of money, but not a lot of money, and that's all my money is, you know, it's still my money, and I still have my card that I need to unlock it for now. So now I did that. And then while we were at the dinner tonight, my dad's friend called, and he's calling me to ask me to help him book his travel for when we go to Sacramento. And then my so I had to call him back afterwards. What else is there? Oh, and then I told my dad, I was like, "Hey, Dad, I got an offer from the parking spot for parking at, for $9 for 3 days." And he was like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "Give me your card." So then I booked it, and he's like, $9, and I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "For 3 days?" I'm like, "Yeah." But I picked the inexpensive one, so but still $9 was still. We felt, I think the original one is like 775. So just the fact that we got it for 2 days for $9 was still cheaper than the regular, so it's fine. Trying to think what else. I did not bake the cookies today because I ran out of time, so that's probably a tomorrow thing. And I've been doing this nervous system reset thing. Today was 2 days, and every time I do it, it like makes me yawn like crazy. And yawning is good for a nervous system reset because it means that your body's like relaxing and letting go of stagnant energy. It's just like when I did the breath work the other day, it was like I was just yawning so much that it was like I yawned so much that like tears run down my neck. That's how much I yawned. And my friend makes fun of me because they're like they're like, "Man, when you yawn, you literally cannot you're just." People are like, "Oh, you're yawning so much," and I'm like, "There's nothing I can do about it." They're like, "It's like a little kid," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's like a little kid. I just keep yawning and yawning and yawning." So, but there's a lot of like, I think there's a lot of changes coming up in my life, and I'm I'm excited for the changes. I don't know, like, obviously, I don't know what they're all gonna be because, well, I'm the little psychic, but I'm not that psychic yet, or at least I haven't unlocked my psychicness to be able to predict my own future. However, to be fair, there are very few psychics that can predict their own future because it's not really how it works, you know? We're like, oh, you should be. If all psychics could predict the future, like there'd be a lot more lottery winners, you know. But that's not really how it works, you know. It's just sometimes you're able to use your gifts to help others, and I mean, I think about how I use my gifts. I use my gifts in different ways as well, and I said it the other day that I told someone the other day that I am the best kind of creative because I am a creative who's logical, except that sometimes I don't know if that's like logic. I mean, some of it is logical, obviously, but like it's logical. However, it's also could be a trauma response because a trauma response would cause you to look at and analyze every situation that could possibly ever happen and come up with a contingency plan. And is that the best, safest thing? Probably not. However, it could be good in different ways because it allows you to think things and like all of those things. So, good or not, it's just what I do. Um, I did think about that the other day when it's like, what do I do better than anyone else? And I was like, logical and creative, and like logical and creative. I feel like I have a good balance of that. Not always, but sometimes. So, as always, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to listen to me. And as I talk through my day, my life, my feelings, and most of all, I appreciate you for giving me a safe place to come and to be able to talk about the things in my life and to know that you love me, period. And I don't have to be anything just I just be me. I'm just me. And that's okay too. So thank you for that. So thank you again for listening. I love you. And I'll talk to you tomorrow.